And vote for Democrats.
No, they can't vote.
Right.
Those Social Security cards literally say
AOC,
on the card, say you can't use this for voting.
Sam Seder was a guest on the Patrick Bet-David show for the first time in 2 years. And I wanted to share this clip because I think it's a perfect example of the way that far-right pundits like Patrick Bet-David and these far-right MAGA shows operate. In this clip here, what you're going to see is Sam Seder presenting facts, presenting reality, and the response from Patrick Bet-David and his co-hosts are vibes, just how they feel, what they believe, rather than what is actually reality. So we're going to take a look at these clips of Sam Seder on Patrick Bet-David show. I have thoughts on this too. Let's check it out together.
I watched the video of you guys on the plane down of when Elon Musk was in Wisconsin blowing up his whole brand, essentially. And he was on stage with a guy named Garcias. Do you guys remember this video?
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was like 2 days ago.
Yes. The Social Security numbers spiking in the last 4 years.
The Social Security numbers.
2.2 million new non-citizen Social Security numbers. Yes.
And the amount of misinformation from every single person, all of you, was astonishing to me.
What was it? What was the misinformation?
I mean, well, I almost feel like we should go through the whole video.
This is coming from a socialist.
No,
you know the level of credibility you have as a socialist.
Yes,
a system that has never worked. But I want to hear it.
That is anti-oligarchy.
But I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
We want to hear it.
Go for it.
First off, you seem to not understand that these were not undocumented immigrants who were getting these Social Security numbers. They are non-citizens. Now, when you came to this country, you were an immigrant. Your parents came legally.
Right.
Every single one of those people who got those Social Security numbers are here legally. They're not citizens, just like you weren't when you first came to this country.
Yeah.
You get a green card. Your parents get a green card. They go through a process.
Yeah.
All of those people, and to understand, they got their Social Security card.
I really want to see your point.
Well, the point is, you referred to them as undocumented and illegal. You did.
I said non-citizen.
No, excuse me.
Don't say everyone here. I said non-citizen. Correct yourself.
I can't remember which one of you got it wrong. I think you did.
Just be specific.
You're thinking, but
we can play the video and go through it. But
I'm still trying to get to the point.
I just want to make. Well, the point is, they're not illegal. They're not undocumented. They're all legal.
Right.
The expansion from that program, the EBE program, which is enumeration beyond entry, was started under the Trump administration. The numbers have gone up because, yes, under Biden, as opposed to Trump, there was an expansion of people who were here probably, I'm not sure.
A lot of illegals.
Excuse me.
10 plus million.
Not a single one of them.
Breaking number of people.
Hold on, you're changing the subject now.
No, I'm not changing the subject.
I'm talking about that video.
Yeah.
And every one of those Social Security numbers that was handed out.
So how do you feel about the illegal immigrants that came those 4 years?
I will get to illegal.
You don't care about those people.
I will get to the undocumented.
You cared about children.
But you don't want to talk about this, and I don't blame you because it's embarrassing.
No. But let me do a quick time out.
Every one of those Social Security numbers.
Do a quick time out here. Sam, let me just do a quick time out. You said you don't want to talk about this. You just spun away from a question I asked you, and you brought this up. You haven't even addressed the question I asked you.
Let me finish. We'll get to the
point that I asked. Let's go back to what I asked you. I asked you a question that the money that's going in, Americans prove that they don't trust the government getting the money than free market, free enterprise.
I don't think that's the case. You never addressed that. I don't think that's the case. People love Social Security. People love Medicare.
Expenditure. What we learned with Doge. The American people said, Sam, enough of you taking our tax money and see what you're doing with it.
Elon Musk made that Wisconsin election of a referendum on Doge. To the extent that we've seen anybody vote on Doge, nobody heard the word Doge before November of last year. To the extent that we've seen a referendum on Doge, it just happened in Wisconsin. It happened in Florida, where the size of the win by those Republican congressmen was cut by 17, 20 points. I mean, this is a wipeout. And every Republican, you're going to see a difference in Republican lawmakers over the next year and a half, because anybody who was in a plus Trump 8 district or less is now starting to go like, wait a second. That's why Musk is being shown the door, supposedly. So getting back to my point about those Social Security numbers, they were.
Before Sam gets back into the point here, I just wanted to say, again, as I said at the top of the video, what are the guys doing here? Patrick Bet-David and Vinny Oshana. It's spin, it's deflection. No, this is what about immigration, blah, blah, blah. And Sam Seder here is explaining exactly how what Elon Musk said was wrong, what Elon Musk said was misinformation or lying, and that Patrick Bet-David and his co-hosts were helping to spread that misinformation. But they don't want to hear that. They just try to spin to illegal immigration, which is separate from what Sam Seder is talking about here, specifically these people who had gotten Social Security numbers but are not receiving benefits. They're not illegal, but they're non-citizens. Just as he pointed out there, probably Patrick Bet-David was at one point. But again, it's all just about how they feel and no facts. We hear over and over again how much from the right-wingers, from the right-wing pundits, from the MAGA side of things, how much everybody's loving what Doge is doing, and they love Elon Musk. Well, let's look at some numbers here. This comes from foxnews.com. According to a Reuters Ipsos poll conducted March 31st to April 2nd, Musk's favorable rating stands at 39% among Americans, with 57% viewing him in an unfavorable light. And only 36% of respondents said the Trump administration was doing a competent job in reducing the number of federal employees. Even fewer, 31%, offered that the Trump administration was competently downsizing the federal government without affecting vital services. So only 31% think that they're doing a good job in downsizing without screwing up things for the rest of us. And this is coming from Fox News.
We're given all to legal non-citizens. And every one of those cards, you can't vote, because I think you definitely said, and I think maybe you said, that this is a Democratic strategy to get voters. Hold on for a second. The Social Security card that they get literally says not legitimate for voting purposes. It is so that these non-citizens who are legal, just like when you came in, pay into the Social Security system and get, many of them never get that money back. So in addition to the undocumented immigrants who pay in $22 billion a year into Social Security and get zero back, these people pay several $billion in a year, and only if they become citizens, which most of them won't. Most of them will go back home over a period of time. They're here for temporary protected status. Maybe some of them are refugees and they get permanent citizenship. They won't get that money either. So every single thing of that video, this video here, was completely wrong that you guys did. It was fascinating to me because I feel like you, at the very least, I believe that you care about the information you're putting out. And this was all...
That's one area where I disagree with Sam Seder. I don't think they give a damn about the information that they're putting out in terms of whether it's true or accurate or reality. They're just putting information out that they feel supports their worldview. If they actually cared about the information, they would be bringing this up right now. Okay, Sam, let's take a look at these policies. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, but we're going to take a look at the policies. Nope. You're naive, Sam. Patrick Bet-David says, you're naive. You're naive. They don't care about what's real and what's not and what's true and what's accurate.
Wrong. And
so they're up there. So Sam, this is all a lie. These guys were up there just completely bullshitting with all the numbers. Where he's saying that people in the government are blowing the whistles. He didn't want to say their names. He was giving them praise. And for Sam, for you to say that you care about the kids and the labor and all that stuff. We've had an open border for 4 years, and all the illegals, way more than 10 million, have come into this country. California, is that where you live?
No.
Where do you live?
I live in New York.
Okay, great, even better. California. So the amount of money that we spent on illegals with housing and all that shit, and Gavin Newsom passing a law that you don't even need an ID to vote. You're saying that we're coming up with where these people aren't coming in for the votes? That's the main goal of this whole thing. What was the open border for? Why was the border open for 4 years? Answer me that question.
First of all, the border was not open.
Are you kidding me? Look at the... What do you mean the border
Sam,
wasn't open? Are you hold on? Did you smoke before you came in here?
This?
That's ridiculous.
By the way, Vinny, here's the part.
You're full of it, bro.
Here's the part.
Get out of here,
Sam. Here's the part. When I hear this, okay.
Anybody can look at that video. The things you were saying yesterday was a complete sack of lies or just misinformation.
Be honest with me.
Immigration year over year over year. Type in illegal immigration year over year.
The fact that you're saying the border wasn't wide open. How many deaths? How many deaths have happened? How many fentanyl deaths have happened per year while your freaking president Joe Biden was in office? How many? Hold on. How many Americans died just from fentanyl, and you're saying the border wasn't wide open? We've had the most illegal entry in 4 years in the history of the country.
Dude.
This is why. Let me finish. And this is why your party sucks. This is why your party is at 29% approval. 20%. Because you got 20. Thank you. Because all you guys do is talk shit and just go anti-Trump. You have no policies. You guys have no vision. You have no leaders. You're talking about oligarchs and you hate the oligarchs. Where do you think Bernie Sanders and AOC are going to get their money from? Their donors. Are you don't lie to yourself. For you to look and brother, you're talking about yesterday we lied.
AOC and Bernie Sanders don't take money.
Hold on, ready for this? You're
and so you can see with Patrick Bet-David, Vinny Oshana, Adam Sosnick, I don't know what the other guy's name is, they are immune to facts. The F your feelings crowd, facts don't matter about your feelings. Sam Seder presents facts to them, explains how this Social Security program works, that Elon Musk was saying you have these millions of people added and they're non-citizens, and that's just to scare people, to try to convince them that the system is broken. So then when Elon Musk and Doge start going in and screwing around with it and say, oh, sorry, you're not going to get your check this month, then people will say, well, I guess it's because they're fixing all the fraud. I guess I have to wait to get my check until the fraud and the waste are removed. It's all a giant scam from Elon Musk and Doge and from Donald Trump and his administration. And Sam Seder calmly, rationally tried to present the truth of this, and all Patrick Bet-David and Vinny Oshana did was shout him down and talk over him and spin off into unrelated subjects. But that's what they do on these right-wing shows. That's what Patrick Bet-David's MO is. That's what Vinny Oshana's MO is when he goes on Piers Morgan. You know, the joke is always that the guy looks like he's going to have a brain aneurysm because he gets so red and the veins are popping out of his neck and his forehead and everything. But that's what they do. Facts don't matter to the right wing. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this. Do you agree with what Sam Seder had to say here? Do you agree with Patrick Bet-David and Vinny Oshana? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe. This is Chris on Culture, and I will see you in the next video.